Hi everyone, this is Total War Therapy, and if you're watching this video, it will be probably Monday. I will be out of the city, that's why I hope that no big news will come up while I'm out, since I cannot cover. And today we're gonna talk about a very interesting topic that happens actually a lot of times, but not in the same way that happened this, because this new DLC will be the first time in the Total War Warhammer history that a Lord pack will include a character. I cannot say that word. Will include a faction introduced within the same game. We are talking about OGRE Kingdoms. There will be a Lord pack, but you will have also the DLC itself that introduced all the factions of OGRE Kingdoms. So what are you gonna do? I mean, if you already own the DLC of OGRE Kingdoms, okay, if you want more content, you can decide to buy it or not. But otherwise, what's the greatest choice to do? Because you know that with the Lord pack, you will actually have access to all the roster of the OGRE Kingdoms, except of course the two campaigns of Grasus and Scrag, that will have just the normal mechanic that probably Golfang will have already access to. So basically you have to pay $8 for all the roster of OGRE Kingdoms, but I don't know, 12 or 15 dollars more if you want to have access to two more campaigns, but with the same roster. And this is something crazy that never happened in Warhammer. Let's talk about the previous case. The first time that an older race was introduced in a game, in one of the Total War game, was probably with the Hunter and the Beast. So basically the Empire got a new legendary lord, and but it was a very particular campaign. Okay, it was not the Empire campaign that you could have expected. That's why probably was a different scenario. Even if you actually you actually had access to all the roster of Empire, excluded of course the units that you get with the DLC, with the other DLC. That was the Grim and the Grave. But except that, you get all the units of the Empire that you were supposed to have only if you owned the Total War Warhammer 1. The other case of that was probably with Eltarion and the Grom and the Punch, I think, yes. And in that case in general, Orcs got a very, very big update. There was the WAG update that introduced a lot of things for free. But even in that case, you were actually getting a new campaign for that Lord with all the roster. That you were supposed to pay the entire price of Total War Warhammer 1 if you want access to that. And then things move on. We had a very particular case with the Twisted, the Twilight, and the Twilight. Why that? Because in that case they were introducing not just a faction that you could already play with the generic game. No, they were putting into the DLC a faction that you could use just buying the DLC of the faction, in this case the Wood Elves. That was it was not even the game, it was a completely different DLC. So you could choose at that time, and I chose the second option. If own the DLC and playing not the full roster but with two campaigns, and buying the new Lord pack and getting all the roster, every unit of the roster, but with just one campaign. But in that case, they did for me a very smart, and I like that marketing choice. They introduced a new legendary lord that is Drika, and they say if you want to play with Drika, you have to possess both the DLC of the entire faction of Wood Elves, plus the new Lord pack, and was a great thing because you were actually, you were saying, okay, I can I can live my Wood Elves experience with the new Lord pack. But then, if I want something more, if I want part of this Lord pack, I have to buy even the Wood Elves DLC. And okay, for me was so far the best choice for that. Then we got the Silence and the Fury that was doing the same thing with Beastmen. In the case, they did something very, very smart. They gave you the possibility within the Taurox campaign to get access to the other legendary lords only if you own or possess the DLC of the faction of Beastmen. And you were pushed to do that. I felt pushed because I started the Towers campaign and they say, oh my god, if I buy the other DLC of Beastmen, I can have access to it was Malagor, I think yes, no Belagor. Okay, the Dark Omen that could actually fly, and it was the first single entity little that could fly. So for me was okay. It's enough to buy another DLC just to play with that, and it worked. It worked, but at the same time they were not actually giving you something more. So I still prefer the idea of the Twisted and the Twilight. Then there was the Thrones of Decay. Thrones of Decay. There was the same thing with Warriors of Chaos actually, but it's very, very particular thing, so we are not gonna address it. And then there was Thrones of Decay, where you can actually play with Dwarves and Empire with all the basic roster of Total War Warhammer 1, but with the addition. Without the addition of the other DLCs, but with the new units of the new Lord pack. And even here was a little tricky, but at the same time, you can, like Beastmen, you can confederate the other legendary lords. I'm not 100% sure, but I think yes. Only if you possess the other DLC, Total War Warhammer 1 first. With the Empire, it was different, because with Dwarves, if you want to get access within the campaign to the other legendary lords, you have to possess the other games and DLC. With Empire, they did something more sophisticated. They enhanced, we can say, they improved the campaign of Karl Franz and Balthasar Gelt. So they say, okay, we offer you a new content, but to play and enjoy this content, you have to possess Total War Warhammer 1 first. And that's a great thing, because it's a way to say, okay, let's if you forgot to buy the Total War Warhammer 1, this is your chance to do it. Of course, we are talking about not the biggest fan of this game, because probably all of us that are watching this video, I'm not sure about that, but probably most of us already bought all maybe not all the DLC, but at least all the games. Okay, but there are many people that are starting to play now Total War Warhammer, and they will think, okay, what I'm supposed to do to buy the new Lord pack of OGRE Kingdoms or the DLC of the faction of OGRE Kingdom. And in this case, I really think we can say that it's probably better to purchase the new Lord pack, because at the end you will have access to all the roster. You can first enjoy the new campaign with the unique mechanics, and we don't know so far if Grisus and Scrub will have some improved mechanics, but it's not something we can actually expect. And or they will do something like with Dwarves and Beastmen, so you will have the mechanic to get access to the other Ogre Kingdoms lords. It can be. It's something I fairly expect, and it will be a way to to push you to buy even the other DLC of the entire faction. But at the same time, it's very weird, guys. I mean, I'm happy because OGRE Kingdoms needed another DLC. They are not in a good state for now. We cannot say that. They are potentially very, very funny, but they need to be fixed. This is a very weird case because, I mean, OGRE Kingdoms DLC was three DLC ago, maybe 1, 2, 3, maybe 4. Okay, so I mean, why you're giving? I really thought that if OGRE DLC was coming, it was supposed to be very, very in the late, at the end of the journey of this game, like the last DLC ever, or maybe, I mean, one of those. But I don't think it's the case. I think we will still get a plenty amount, a good amount, a fair amount of DLCs. And yes, I mean, why that? Why you make us buy the previous DLC of the faction if now we can get all the same units with the new Lord pack that will be like half the price. So really hope they have something in mind to address this. And yeah, there was not actually a solution to the problem in this video, but I wanted to know what you think about that. Don't forget to subscribe, and see you soon. Tomorrow is Tuesday, so let's see what will happen, and yeah, see you soon.